Hi, Jeff. Happy New Year. Nice to see you.
Same to you. Good to see you.
So, Jeff, what are you hoping to see at CES this year? What are you looking for? What do you think is going to come out?
It's great. CES has really become an advertiser show. We've got a bunch of clients here stopping by our booth or down on the floor, checking them out. So, new technology is always fun. I'm a bit of a geek, which is great. And it's just good to see some, fellow compadres here in the business, and then meeting with a bunch of advertisers, showing them what we're up to.
What do you think is going to be big in 2013 for our industry?
I think it's an evolution of what we've heard as themes the last 3 or 4 years. I think it's about auto content recognition, that's coming to fruition. A lot of mobile stuff is finally starting to happen, which is good. Smart TVs have, selfishly for us, have really started to take off, which is great. And a lot of dual screen interaction has been really positive for us. And I think it's always about data too. There's always, people talk about data, but I think it's really starting to happen.
So Rovi has this sort of place of sitting, behind and powering a lot of folks to deliver great experiences. You're announcing a lot of interesting things at CES, but you've also had this Entertainment Unbound sort of solutions offering. Can you tell a little bit of the problems that solves for the industry and the enablers it provides?
Yeah, so we work with consumer electronics companies and service providers on a daily basis, and one of the things we find is that people use tablets, mobile, web, smart TVs all differently, and the idea is how do you link them all together? And one of the things that links them all together is the search and discovery for content. So we have apps and projects and all kinds of things across all the different platforms that allow people to really search and discover content in a smart way. We start to learn about what they're up to, and then really learn the consumer as opposed to the device. We can get the metrics and data behind that, and then start selling ads to that, which is important for us.
And I mean, how important is advertising as part of the business model for this new video everywhere world that we live in?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what models shake out. I don't think what we can do on the television and just port that over to what we're doing in TV everywhere is necessarily going to make sense. I think some of that element will make sense, but I think advertiser will be the grease that kind of oils the wheel here. Across all the different devices. Well, I think what's going to come out of it is big data as a part of that, which is kind of the buzzword right now, but I think it's really time to kind of learn what we're doing from advertisers. You can deliver the right messages at the right time on the right platform to customers.
If you had to provide some words of wisdom to advertisers in regards to starting to be able to change the way that they think about media and advertising in the living room as an entertainment, being part of an entertainment experience, what advice would you give to marketers and agencies?
I would say start with the creative. We talk to the creative shops, their eyes light up, they're like kids in a candy shop because they want to see what we can do on all these different platforms. I think start with the creative, see what that looks like across all tablet, mobile, web, all the different devices. It's not the same experience across everything as we've learned. We've done a lot of research, we've gotten a lot of data back from people, and people use the platforms differently. So know how the devices work, know how the creative should be implemented, and know what you want to get out of the campaign on the back end, because you're going to get a bunch of data on the back end, and what do you do with that? What do you, is that social tie-in? Is that, do you just sit on the data? Do you actually do anything with it?
Now, Rovi has done some of the heavy lifting. I know that, the effort of bespoke creative for every platform is quite a big burden for an agency or brand. You guys have actually provided some value-added services to help do some of that heavy lifting and start to learn and test on these platforms, correct?
Yeah, we've done thousands of campaigns now across smart TV, tablet, web, and as part of that, we've learned a lot in the creative process. So certain things, as you're sitting from a 10-foot experience, for instance, you've got a remote control, so you're using left, down, up, and right. And there's a certain set of creative idea that you have to really put behind that to make sure the ads are compelling. So as a part of this, we've built out our own creative team down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got about 30 people that do this on a day in and day out basis, because from a technology standpoint, as you mentioned, everything's a little bit different. There's no kind of standardization in the industry. So what we've really turned into is this de facto standardization for the industry across smart TVs and all the advanced platforms.
What have been the biggest learnings in regards to advertising and engagement performance on these platforms? Can you offer any data or learnings from some of the campaigns that you've run historically?
Yeah, one of the things we've learned is that people like to interact with the right ads that are interesting to them. We see that people find ads that they can opt into as opposed to ads that are thrust in front of them on 30-second ads. 67% of the people like to see the ads and interact with them in the right way, in the right manner. We've seen that people do lean forward on the television. There's always kind of been this mentality of lean back, lean forward, and people have looked at the television device as a lean back environment, and we couldn't disagree more, because people start their entertainment experience with a lean forward experience. They're trying to find content and entertainment using the remote control. So they start with that engaged mentality. If you can deliver an ad that's compelling to them in the right time, they will interact with that. So we're seeing really good engagement times with customers and viewers. We're seeing really compelling click-through rates as people learn that they can start to interact with their TV more. So we're very encouraged about what's happening in the advanced TV platforms.
That's great. I wish you a great show. Thank you for your time.
Great to see you as always.
All right, enjoy Vegas.
Thanks.